The gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, you are the Deputy Administrator in charge of the livestock feed subsidy program operated by the USDA, correct?
Yes.
Could you briefly describe the purpose of that program?
Nice try.
I beg your pardon?
I said nice try. If you think you're going to outsmart me with a question like that, you've got another thing coming.
I'm not sure I know what's happening right now.
What's happening is, if you think, Congressman, that you're going to twist this hearing around and turn it into another one of the partisan witch hunts that your party, the Democrat Party, specializes in, well, if that's what you're thinking, you're going to have to get up pretty early in the morning.
I just asked if you could describe the livestock feed subsidy program.
Why don't you look up what the program does, with all the free time you have from wasting the money of the American taxpayer, and leave the rest of us to do our jobs?
Informing Congress of the status of the programs you're responsible for is part of your job.
I don't work for you. I don't work for you. You know who my boss is?
The American people?
Nope, it's the same as your boss.
The American people.
President Donald Trump.
Nope.
The greatest president in the history of the United States.
Members of Congress do not work for the president.
He's the most powerful president ever.
People in the executive branch don't work for the president either.
He's the most successful president.
They serve at the pleasure of the president.
The United States is the hottest country in the world.
But that's not the same thing.
It's all because of the genius and vision of one man.
We're all supposed to work for the people under the Constitution. That's the whole idea.
Donald Trump. And it kills you. It burns you up that Trump is already the most successful president in history and has taken no L's despite the constant efforts of your party, the Democrat Party, to persecute him.
The livestock feed subsidy program distributes funds to at-risk farmers to help them buy feed for their livestock. Is that correct?
I plead the fifth.
What?
I plead the fifth. I don't have to answer any of your questions. I don't want to. You want to wave the Constitution in my face? I can do the same thing.
When did I wave the Constitution in your face?
You just did it a second ago. Are you going to deny that?
Do you mean when I briefly referred to the fact that we all serve the people under the Constitution?
Are you going to gaslight the public? Congressman?
No.
So you'll finally admit that President Trump is a better president than Barack Hussein Obama?
What does President Obama have to do with anything?
Obama's not the president. Oh my God. You don't even know who the president is. Do you know how embarrassing you are? You are so embarrassing to everyone right now.
Will you please give us a summary of what the livestock feed subsidy program does?
Will you admit that Donald Trump is the president of the United States?
I've never denied it. I'm not happy about it, but...
Treason! Everybody saw that. You just committed treason. You are in so much trouble, Congressman.
Okay, can we...
Or do you prefer Congressperson? Because of how woke you are.
Congressman is fine.
So are we good? Are we done here?
No. Your program is one of several similar aid programs provided to American farmers through the USDA. These programs are responsible for the distribution of billions of dollars in federal funding every year, and I would just like for you to briefly summarize what your program does.
Sure. Let me just consult my burn book.
That's your phone?
Yes, it is. I didn't have time to get a binder and print stuff out on paper and have an actual burn book, so I have to use my phone. Thank you so much for pointing that out.
Maybe you could share with us a few accomplishments of your program in the past year that you're proud of.
You have Trump derangement syndrome.
Did you really need to write that one down?
Why didn't you drag my predecessor under Sleepy Joe Biden, the worst president ever, in here every year?
We did. It's routine oversight.
May I make an opening statement?
You made an opening statement already.
May I make an in-the-middle statement?
No, you may not. This is my question time.
You are a fascist.
Okay.
What about my rights? Huh? You keep asking about subsidies and funding and programs. What about me? And the billions of Americans just like me, we have been the silent majority for too long, and now President Trump has awakened us, and we are silent no longer, and you can't deal with that. But guess what? We're not asking.
What are, let's say, 3 goals you set for your program when you were appointed to oversee it?
Why am I expected to answer to you when I was personally appointed to my high position by President Trump himself?
You weren't personally appointed by the president. You were hired by the administrator directly above you at the USDA, and your hiring was approved by the Secretary of Agriculture.
You're a liar. You just committed perjury. You just said a lie on TV in Congress, and I can prove it.
You have some evidence in your burn book there?
No. I saved the email. It's in my Gmail in a folder I created called Heart Emoji. I couldn't figure out how to make an actual heart emoji the name of the folder, so I just put the words heart emoji in brackets so I would know what it meant. And it's where I keep the emails that are the most personally precious to me. Like this one. Subject, new admin hires. To the Secretary of Agriculture. From the Assistant to the Deputy Chief of Staff of the White House. Quote, POTUS has no problems with this. And then there's a quoted copy of a previous email sent by the Secretary of Agriculture that includes a list of names of people to be appointed to administrative positions within the department. And on that list is what? Who? What? My name! Ugh! And who was CC'd on this email? Me! Booyah! Swallow that dry and choke on it!
I can tell that means a lot to you.
Oh, can you? I bet if you'd gotten an email from the President of the United States, it would mean a lot to you, too.
I have gotten emails from the President of the United States, multiple presidents, in fact, several times, and sent directly to me.
Yeah, probably just saying what a loser you are.
No, they were in regards to various pieces of legislative business. Would you like to answer my question now?
Yeah, sure. I'll answer your question.
Good. So, here is my question.
No, I want to answer your question from before. I want to answer the question.
All right.
Let me answer the question.
Go right ahead.
Because you ask what we do at the Livestock Feed Subsidy Program. I'll tell you what we do.
I wish you would.
We do what everyone in the government, including all of you and everyone else in Congress, regardless of party, should be doing, and that is carrying out the agenda of the smartest and most handsome President of the United States in the history of the planet Earth, President Donald Trump.
And that agenda includes delivering subsidies to farmers who are struggling to offset losses sustained as a result of climate change? Because there are quite a few farmers in my district who...
Climate change is a hoax. Why do you Democrats keep pushing these hoaxes to try and destroy President Trump? Climate change, Russia, Epstein files, trans people, windmills. You just keep making stuff up to try and destroy him, but it never works because he's perfect and everybody loves him.
I think if that were true, he would...
Is that what this is? Are you trying to get to President Trump through me? Do you think you can hurt him by destroying me, who he personally appointed as a deputy administrator in charge of the Livestock Feed Subsidy Program?
I definitely do not think that.
Because you can't. You can't hurt me. You can't touch me. And you can't touch President Trump. He won in a landslide. 20 billion people all around the world voted for him to be the President of the United States because they all knew he'd do the best job because he always has. The Dow is over 50,000.
I don't think it is anymore.
And who even are you to question me? To question President Trump? You're just some loser lawyer.
I mean...
You're pathetic. You're a failed politician.
I am a member of Congress.
Yeah, and that's all you're ever gonna be, too. Congratulations, loser.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna be a member of Mar-a-Lago. My GoFundMe for the membership fee is already up to almost $3,000.
Congratulations.
And actually, if anybody wants to contribute to my Mar-a-Lago GoFundMe, it's linked at the top of the webpage for the feed for livestock supplemental, that thing I'm in charge of. Just go to the USDA website and you'll find it.
All right, that's inappropriate for a congressional hearing, I think.
Oh, what? I can't plug my GoFundMe?
Not for that, not during my time.
Big man, reclaiming your time. You feel like a big man? That's okay. Who knows? The GoFundMe might not even be necessary. Maybe a certain somebody will decide to hook me up with a gift membership after he sees this, where's my camera? Wait, is it this one?
All right, let's move on from this. Good luck with your fundraising efforts.
Yeah. Good luck playing on your municipal golf course. Failure.
There's a municipal golf course in my district that's actually quite nice. I don't happen to play golf myself.
You make me sick.
The gentleman's time has expired. Actually, it expired a few minutes ago. We have all just been watching. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Florida.